the final game at Seattle's Kingdome, the Seahawks hope to bid farewell with a playoff victory over Dan Marino and the Dolphins.
In the 1999 wildcard playoff game between Seattle and Miami, the central figure was Dan Marino, who had suffered through the worst season of his 17-year NFL career. It was rumored that Marino was feuding with head coach Jimmy Johnson, and it was also rumored that Marino was seriously considering retirement. Well, 1999 was definitely the last season for Seattle's Kingdome. But before the Kingdome was blown to Kingdom Come, it provided the stage for one final clutch performance from perhaps the finest pure passer to ever play the game.
From the moment the Seahawks joined the NFL in 1976, the Kingdome has provided a unique soundtrack for professional football in the Pacific Northwest.
Get your program, get your hot program.
How much?
$5.
$5, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Now the Kingdome is throwing a farewell party, and the Miami Dolphins intend to spoil the celebration.
Fans, all right. Take care of business.
At one point, the Dolphins and Seahawks seemed to be on a collision course for the AFC Championship game. But both teams faltered, then finished with identical 9-7 records.
How eerie is it that when we got to the 1st of November, the Hawks were 8-2, the Dolphins were 7-1, and now look at where they are right now. Yeah, they're in postseason play, but they're sure not playing well.
We haven't been playing well enough, so I had to condense everything down and make sure we can kind of execute what we have.
Get after them. Good luck to you today. No matter how we got here, this is where we wanted to be. It's all about, dog. Get here. 0-0 now. New record, new season. We gotta go get it. We gotta go get it. Let's go. We're gonna dominate. We're gonna fly around. We're gonna have some fun. Let's go. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
In Miami, the distance between Dan Marino and Jimmy Johnson fueled rumors of a feud. Marino was unhappy with his role in Johnson's conservative offense. How deep was the rift between the two? In the head coach's opinion, minor differences had been inflated to major proportions.
But people make more out of what it is, but that stirs it all up. Sure.
Dan Marino had every reason to stand tall when he took the field in Seattle. The 38-year-old quarterback owned nearly every significant NFL passing record. But the 1999 season was a miserable one for the 17-year veteran. Bothered by injuries that sidelined him for 5 games, Marino threw 17 interceptions against just 12 touchdowns. 6 of those picks were returned for scores. Clearly, time had diminished the skills of this great passer. Marino had openly hinted at retirement, but he was determined to come out throwing and fighting in what might be his last game as a pro. Marino will face many obstacles, including a raucous crowd and a defense that led the NFL with 30 interceptions. But with a chance to add one more chapter to his legend, Dan Marino is ready to meet any challenge.
Electric is the Kingdome. Everybody is standing. Everybody wearing Seahawk blue. Everybody waving their victory towel. We've waited more than a decade for this, and we are ready for postseason play here at the Kingdome.
High-spirited home fields had hampered the Dolphins in postseasons past. They had not won a road playoff game in 27 years. But in this game's opening series, Miami's pass rush unplugged the Kingdome's electricity.
Here's Kitna going to put it up for the first time. Looking, under some pressure, and they'll get him. Dolphins with a sack on the first pass attempt by John Kitna.
Kitna quickly rebounded by moving out of the pocket.
Here comes a corner blitz. Kitna to throw, gets bumped, rolls to the right, now fires on the run. Wide open, Galloway at the 50, into the 45, and is knocked out of bounds.
In Houdini-like fashion, Kingdome just floated out of the pocket, drifted to the right. Wide open, unaccounted for, Joey Galloway.
But on 3rd and 4, tight coverage by nickelback Jerry Wilson, number 24, sent Seattle to the sidelines.
The drive stalls at the Miami 39. Jeff Fiegels to punt on a 4th down. Rodenhauser with a snap, gets to the Fiegels. High, spiraling kick, tries to ram it to the coffin corner. He does a good job, and he kicks it out of bounds inside the 5. And Fiegels said exactly what I said. Put him on a long field and make him start from Tacoma.
Dolphins' first possession is started in the worst of circumstances. Backed up at their own goal line. Seahawks know full well the Dolphins are going to try to run the ball out, and you cannot hear yourself think in this building.
The Dolphins started in a deep hole, then were buried further by Seattle. Number 98, Sam Adams, pushed center Tim Ruddy, number 61, so far into the backfield that Stanley Pritchett, number 36, was forced to the outside, where he was swarmed by Seahawks.
Miami goes 3 and out, doesn't get any yardage, and incites this crowd even more.
Well, if you're Jimmy Johnson and your quarterback has thrown as many interceptions in the last 6 weeks as Dan Marino has, do you want to take any kind of chance down here against your own goal line?
Hell of a series. Nice start now. Nice start. Hell of a series.
Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Keep it up. Let's keep it up. Good job. Good job.
Although Seattle head coach Mike Holmgren was known as an offensive mastermind, his offense had ranked just 23rd in 1999. But on their second possession of the game, Holmgren's crafty play calling and crisp execution by John Kitna kept the Dolphins off balance.
At the 45 of Miami, they'll put Pritchard in motion. They empty the backfield. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Throws caught by Pritchard in at the 35 and down to the 33.
A Miami blitz was neutralized by number 68, Brian Habib's block.
The Seahawks have come out slinging the ball. Now he's back to pass, fires down the middle again, and completes it to Pritchard again.
A screen pass to Ricky Waters, number 32, also negated the effectiveness of Miami's aggressive pass rush. John Kitna's hot hand led his team to the Miami 8-yard line.
The Seattle offense is dealing right now. They're sitting there with a hot set of dice.
Kitna back to throw, looking, throwing, touchdown, Seattle! John Dawkins ran a deep slant and was open.
John Dawkins in a crossing pattern, operating against Brock Marion. Brock Marion got turned around. Kitna found Dawkins right underneath the goalpost. 6 points, Seattle, and my friends, that was too easy.
Scoring so easily against the league's best red zone defense was a quick confidence booster for Seattle. The Seahawks had taken an important first step in the pursuit of their first playoff victory since 1984. Brock Marion's lapse in pass coverage had resulted in 6 points for Seattle. But after Jimmy Johnson settled him down, Marion produced a big play on the ensuing kickoff.
Good kick. High kick down to Marion at the 4-yard line on the left side, breaking back to the right. He's out to the 15, 20, 25, 30, to the 35. Only has the kicker to beat. Marion to midfield, but they caught him from behind. Brock Marion gets to midfield. Jay Bellamy caught up to him from behind, or that would have been a touchdown.
Outstanding blocking up front. It was a right return. hole was about the size of a boxcar. Brock Marion took it up inside, and had Bellamy not made that ankle tackle, Dolphins would have had 6.
Marion's 47-yard return put Miami on the 50-yard line, where Dan Marino attempted his first pass of the game.
Give Dan Marino credit. He may be aging, his knees are bad, he may have a shoulder problem, but when he has that quick release going, he is very tough to stop.
Prior to the playoffs, Miami passed more than they ran in 6 straight games, 5 of which they lost. Now, Jimmy Johnson wanted to get back to running up the gut, and J.J. Johnson, number 32, carried the ball on 3 of the next 5 plays. But Johnson and the Dolphins appeared to run out of steam by the time they reached Seattle's 13-yard line.
On a 4th down, they have to get about a full yard, wouldn't you say, Jim?
It looks like at least a yard.
Dolphins are going for it on a 4th down here in the first quarter of the game. One wide out to the left side. I formation in the backfield. Marino calls a timeout.
Dolphins drive stalls. At some point in the afternoon, you're going to have to finish off a couple of these drives.
Olindo Mare was brought in to attempt a field goal.
Field goal from the left hash mark to get the Dolphins on the board. The snap is down. Field goal kick is away, and he just got it in.
Kingdome coming down left. Got to pick that coming to the other side. That's you. Other side. Safety's coming down the other side.
Homie just came out and tackled me, dude. He just,
Okay.
just came out right.
Hey, look back. We'll tell you which way we're coming down so you know how to attack it.
I hit him with my left hand. I tried to push him that way. He just came his way.
He doing it to everybody.
He tackled us. The center is tackling you.
The center's come out, wrap him up. He don't care.
What's 33? 33 is 3 fingers.
3 up here, 34, 4 down here.
Yeah.
See, that's what they gave was coming in. We didn't know the personnel.
Try to find me.
Stick to the plan now. We're going to stick to the plan, but you got to keep grinding them. All right? All right, just keep working your ass off. All right, we're going to stay with this thing. We're going to stay with it. Beat him down. Beat him down.
In the second quarter, Marino attempted his first deep pass of the game.
Marino, play action. He's looking to throw. Fires one deep down the middle of the field. Tony Martin can't quite get there. Incomplete. Sean Springs was on the coverage. That was so close.
That was there. Tony Martin had beaten Sean Springs. That ball glanced off Tony Martin's hands, actually off Tony Martin's gloves.
Marino was also off target on his short throws. He passed for just 28 yards in the first half. But the intensity that was Marino's trademark was abundantly evident, especially when the feisty veteran was sacked, but fought to remain on his feet.
He's not supposed to be in that position, so we got to get lined up right.
Although John Kitna had attained a measure of success when rolling out of the pocket, he remained surprisingly stationary throughout the second quarter.
And here's Kitna. He's looking to throw. Under some pressure now. They got him. Trace Armstrong, first guy there to take him down at the 20-yard line.
Some hellacious pass coverage. They shut everything down that Kitna's looking for. Has to pull it down, and then he is converged upon by a multitude of Dolphin defenders.
Kitna wasn't helped by the ineffective blocking of number 32, Ricky Waters. Miami's tight pass coverage and persistent pressure were beginning to exasperate the young quarterback.
8-8. If it's Q personnel or T, Zach and I just got the tight end on the line and in the back. All right. All right. And we're not moving. Gotcha.
Kitna was frustrated for most of the second quarter.
Play action. Kitna, deep drop to throw. Looking long, throws it into triple coverage. It's going to be intercepted. Ball's going to be picked off at the 10, coming back the other way. That's Brock Marion to the 20, to the 30, and finally pushed out of bounds. Kitna should have never thrown the ball. He had a receiver underneath who got jammed at the line of scrimmage. He went back and he threw it into triple coverage. Interception, Miami. There were 3 defenders downfield waiting for that ball.
Brock Marion had that defense from the snap. That was a colossally ignorant throw by John Kitna. It had no chance of completion. Brock Marion runs it down, brings it back for good yardage for the Miami Dolphins. The first turnover of the day.
But it was taking too long. I had pressure. I had to throw it.
Oh, okay.
I think the sack was coming.
All right, okay.
I had to throw it.
When you get back.
I know.
Okay, good.
But I had Sean, too, you know, if he just goes and wins.
The problem is, guy from the other side was coming
I
up
can't
showing.
see that.
I know. Yeah, no, you're fine. Good.
Kitna had been more than solid during the regular season. He threw 23 touchdown passes, the conference's second highest total. He showed his resilience with 4:30 remaining in the half when he moved Seattle into field goal range.
Second down and 10, back to throw. Flare pass left side, wide open. Waters, 30, 35 to the 40. Stiff arms the man, and he goes all the way out to the 43. Penalty! A late flag as Ricky Waters ran up the sidelines. He stiff-armed the safety, and there might have been some retaliation at the end of the play in the bench area.
On 3rd and short, the Seahawks, who ranked 25th in rushing offense, were undone by their inability to run between the tackles.
3rd down. Here we go. The handoff to Ricky Waters to the left side. He's hit in the backfield. He won't get there. Sean Wooden makes the tackle for a loss at the 33-yard line.
Big play by Sean Wooden. Man, is he flying up to the football. Little plays like that become such big plays in a ball game. That was a 3rd and a couple of inches. You stop him for a loss, and now he's trying a 50-yard field goal.
This will be a 50-yard attempt out of the Eagles' hold. Snap, booms it, 50-yarder on the way. The kick is up. Good! The Hawks stretch the lead out to 10-3 with 45 seconds to go till halftime. Breathing room, pal. That's what you want. Good job by Todd Peterson. The second half will tell us who is headed down the road in the NFL playoffs and who is going home. Who could ever imagine a Dan Marino-led offense would have 69 yards in total offense? They're so conservative that they're taking the game away from the future Hall of Fame quarterback, I think.
Well, at some point, they're going to have to let him have a little more rope here in the second half. But you also have to believe that the Seahawks have gone in, made some adjustments. We may see a little bit more pressure on Dan Marino here in the second half.
Miami had gained just 46 rushing yards in the first half. The second half began with the Dolphins still failing to make headway on the ground. One reason was number 98, Sam Adams. But then Dan Marino assumed control of the drive.
Dolphins come out throwing the football. O.J. McDuffie was wide open.
Made a nice catch though.
Yes, he did. That is a difficult pass to catch. Made it look easy.
Marino hit a key completion on 3rd and 7.
Marino deep drop to throw. Looks and fires. Wide open at the 30-yard line into the 25. McDuffie, and he's tackled at the 20. That's the biggest play of the day. It covers 27 yards of real estate. That's the first big play of the day that Dan Marino has hit, and Marino really looks like he's in a rhythm now. Marino is back to pass. He's looking. Flare pass. J.J. Johnson on the near side. Makes a cut against the grain. He's down to the 10. J.J. is down to the 8-yard line for a first down for Miami.
He stopped on a dime, planted that right foot, cut it back to the center of the field. And that move is what enabled the Dolphins to get a first down.
On a 10-play, 60-yard march, Marino attempted 6 passes and completed every one.
Lead left, fly left, power left.
3rd down and goal just outside the 1. Marino to throw, fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Miami.
My God, did Marino thread that football in there.
The touchdown pass was Marino's 31st in the postseason, ranking him 2nd to Joe Montana's 45 on the NFL's all-time list.
Good job.
Charles Rogers, number 31, led the AFC in punt returns during the regular season. While his work returning kickoffs had been less impressive, Rogers provided a rapid response to Miami's touchdown.
Linda Murray to kick off for Miami. Loops it high to the 5. Here's one of Charlie Rogers. He bobbled the ball. He fumbled it. He picked it up at the 15-yard line. Uh-oh. He's to the 25, the 30. He's to the 40. Murray's a shot at him. Olindo's after him. He's going to juke him out. Charlie Rogers is going to go down the sideline for a touchdown. Oh, my goodness.
You have just seen the best and worst of a rookie. Charlie Rogers bounces it off the turf. Miami seemed to let up, picked it up on the bounce and went screaming up the sidelines and down the sidelines into Miami territory, and the Hawks have retaken the lead. Oh, baby, how about that rookie?
How often do you see that? Bobbled it right as the ball came to him, picked it up, and went the distance for the touchdown.
Boy, he gets a seam and he's gone. Olindo Murray looked like he was going to be able to track him down, disrupt him a little bit on the way to the goal line. Oh, my goodness. That has reignited this crowd and rejuvenated this Seahawk football team. A back-breaking, devastating play. Charlie Rogers bringing the kickoff back. Not only puts 7 points on the board, a crowd that had been quieted is in a hysterical rage again.
The tie score had been quickly and forcefully erased. The Seahawks have the crowd and momentum back on their side. With their confidence shaken by Seattle's swift strike, how would Miami respond?
Important not to panic here. You're only down by a touchdown and plenty of time left in this game.
Absolutely. You've got to stay with the game.
What the defense has to do here, Lee, is take control of the moment. Seize this opportunity with the momentum on your side. You cannot let the Dolphins move down the field.
The Marino mystique that was evident moments earlier was now nowhere to be found. Seattle's defense seemed to have the upper hand.
I had to beat it inside and I stopped.
You okay? We'll go back with you two inside to start it. Then if it gets anything going, we'll get Riddick in the game, okay? But you two started off.
But Miami's defense had been off the field for 7 minutes when the Seahawks mounted their initial drive of the second half. This unit, especially linebacker Zach Thomas, was rested, ready, and relentless.
Getting us back to pass. He's under pressure. Zach got him. Takes him down back at the 7-yard line. So the Dolphins register the sack, and that is a big one.
Run blitz again. Defeated the fullback trying to block him on that. Did a good job of sliding on by and just got kidnapped down by the ankle.
Dan Marino, can you believe this, is thrown for only 79 yards in the game.
Marino had been shaky on the previous possession, so Jimmy Johnson went back to basics. Rookie Autry Denson, number 21, carried the ball 4 straight times. On his first 2 carries, Denson gained 28 yards.
Wow. What a boost Autry Denson has given this team. Counter trap. Autry Denson cuts it all the way back up the field. And in successive possessions, he's got the Dolphins deep in Seattle territory.
The Dolphins had to settle for a long field goal attempt by Olindo Mare. In 1999, Mare's 39 field goals set a new league record.
Mare, this will be a 51-yard field goal. Boy, he's got the distance on that one, and he stroked it right through Olindo Mare.
God, that was effortless and perfect. Right down Main Street.
Great kick by Olindo Mare, and the Dolphins have trimmed the lead to 17-13. There was never a doubt on that one. Alindo Mare will kick it away, and the last time he did in this situation, Charlie Rogers took one to the house. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Every seat in the building and then some.
Watch this. Watch
Here
this.
we go. Onside kick by the Dolphins. There's a scramble for the ball. Miami got it. Miami got the ball. I think Sean Wooden got on it right at the sideline. It's Miami ball.
All right. Oh, my God. What balls you get by Jimmy Johnson. It's unbelievable in a playoff game like this. He's got big ones, and they're made of grass.
The onside kick failed to translate into points. But in a tight ball control contest, Johnson's gamble had enabled his offense to maintain possession for over 5 minutes.
What a shame, Bill. The onside kick, you feel the inertia, you feel the charge, you get the feeling things are going our way, and then nothing.
A defense that had played just one series in the quarter was well rested for what promised to be a furious final stanza.
Oh, boy. It is going to be a wild one for the final 15 minutes. We go into the final 15 with the Seahawks holding on to a 17-13 lead on the Dolphins.
Seattle had to shake off the rust after running only 4 plays during the third quarter. Their first snap of the final period resulted in a 22-yard gain, but it came courtesy of a Miami mugging.
2nd down and 9 at the 5. Rolling to the right. Getting a throw. Fires to the sideline. Pass interference against Miami. You bet. He threw a knuckleball that I don't know that was really catchable, but somebody, I think it was Surtain, grabbed Sean Dawkins by the throat. First down.
The Seahawks advanced no further than their own 30-yard line. Their offensive stars were simply not shining.
Joey should have held it.
He should have, and he knows it. This is the part of the game where somebody has to step up, and nobody for the Seahawks offense in weeks has stepped up to make a big play for this team.
Strong running by J.J. Johnson suggested that the Dolphins had finally established their ground game.
J.J. Johnson, the deep back in the backfield. He takes the handoff over right guard through the line. He's to midfield to the 45 and down to the 42 of Seattle.
Miami's offensive line is shredding the defensive front.
And the Dolphins' running game is starting to pick up some tempo, much stronger here in the second half than in the first half.
But throughout the game, Miami appeared reluctant to commit to any single approach. While they wound up running 37 times and passing 31 times, the offense failed to find a consistent rhythm. This drive fizzled after 2 consecutive Marino misfires. Since the game-tying drive that opened the second half, Marino had completed just 2 passes in 8 attempts. Over a span of 10 minutes, Marino looked more like the quarterback who had a 67.4 passer rating for 1999, rather than the man who began the season as the NFL's 4th-rated quarterback of all time. Marino's frustration was a bad omen for Miami, especially when John Kitna began to move the Seahawks.
Kitna to throw, looking, firing over the middle. Great catch out at the 30-yard line.
Bowery goes up in a gravity-defying effort to pull in that football.
Wow.
Beautiful work. Bowery is making the plays for his team. He gets blasted in the chin by Brock Marion. Rodeo clown to the ground by Zach Thomas.
After 2 tough catches by tight end Christian Fourier, the Seahawks were stopped cold.
Getting a short drop, he's looking to throw. And now he's under pressure, and they get him again. Trace Armstrong takes him down at the 37-yard line. That's his 2nd sack of the day, and they will have to punt.
Beautiful. Trace Armstrong relentless in his pursuit of Kitna. Yet another defensive stop. The Dolphins will get the football again. They're running out of chances.
But the pass rush was not running low on confidence.
Sprint, so kind of came off, and but that's fine. You got the sack. He's standing there. He wants to be sacked, man. Yeah. In the last second, like a deer in headlights.
Just over 9 minutes remaining to play, there was still plenty of time for Marino to get back into a groove. But the Dolphins' next possession began inauspiciously, with Johnson losing 2 yards. Then a holding penalty left Marino facing a 3rd and 17 from the Miami 8-yard line.
I hope you can hear me because this is a huge play. 3rd and 17, back at his own 8. Marino's got 3 wides. They're going to zone blitz, back to throw, looking, throws, diving catch out at the 30-yard line. They got the first down. The Dolphins, they get out of hot water. He hits them with a big pass play.
You cannot be a great defense if you keep giving up big 3rd down plays.
The Dolphins have come out of it. Tony Martin makes the diving catch at the 32.
How magnificent was that? My goodness gracious, that was aerodynamically impossible to do.
Marino under center on 1st down and 10 to go. He's back to pass blitz coming. Dan fires far side, complete to Martin on the deep out, and he's out of bounds at the 48.
Wait a minute. Is he doing it again? Did he go to the phone booth? Does he have a cape on? The only thing that's missing, maybe the X-ray vision. This is awfully good stuff.
Zone to weak right, slot, slant left. Zone to weak left, slot, slant right.
Marino hit on all 3 of his pass attempts until he hit a snag on the game's most baffling play.
Duffy in motion from left to right. Straight eye in the backfield. The pitch goes to J.J. Johnson. Reverses field. Pitches back to Marino. Here's Marino throwing it away. Stanley Pritchett. Now a flag is thrown. And they will call Dan was grounded.
There was not a receiver in sight. The play was boggled from the outset.
Well, it was going to be a flea flicker, but Pritchard got hit so far back in the backfield, he was lucky to be able to pitch it back and find his quarterback. Oh, they wanted to go flea flicker all the way.
Jim, I don't know. I was completely baffled by that one. I guess it had to be the flea flicker.
It was certainly the flea flicker.
Marino is trying to politic his way out of this one. Here's the call. Boy, Marino is really barking at Tony Corrente.
The officials waved off the penalty, and after the retraction, Seattle seemed dazed and confused.
And now we have a timeout called by Seattle. That is their 2nd timeout of the game.
What's Seattle doing? They appear really confused on defense.
Seattle uses a 2nd timeout of the half on defense, and it will be a 2nd down and 10.
The big hand of tackle Cortez Kennedy, number 96, thwarted Marino. Then Miami was faced with a 3rd and long for the 2nd time in the drive.
Now we're looking at 3rd down, baby. 3rd and 10 with under 6 minutes to go in the game.
You gotta get a 1st down, man.
Come on, Dan. Here's a throw. Aronde Gadsden makes the catch. He's to the 10. He's to the 5 before they get him down.
Awesome. Simply awesome. 1st down Miami at the 5-yard line. Got awfully quiet in here, didn't it?
Marino, this is one of the more explosive performances he's had 2nd half of the season.
Let's go home. Put it in there, baby. Put it in there, though.
Slant right.
See what they go.
Well, if your heart isn't going pitter-patter right now, you don't have a pulse.
Mine is, I guarantee it. Straight eye formation in the backfield. J.J. Johnson taking the pitch. He cuts. He goes. He
All right!
touchdown Miami. J.J. Johnson put the head down and bowled into the end zone for the go-ahead score.
A little toss to the short side of the field. J.J. Johnson just planted that foot. He wouldn't be denied. He pulled his way into the end zone, and the Dolphins have seized the lead in this game. And we've got Seahawk fans here in a mesmerized, trance-like state.
The Dolphins had traveled 85 yards in 11 plays. Now it was up to the defense to protect this freshly minted lead.
And Mike Holmgren on the far sideline has seen enough, and he's going to go and bark at his offensive players and say, all right, guys, now it's up to you. They just drove the length of the field on our defense. who've been out there the entire third quarter, and in fact, most of the fourth quarter. It's up to you guys. You have to win this football game.
All 11 in the pitch. Every last one of them. Just at the beginning of the season.
Relentless. Line on the line. Line on the line.
Death row defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Death row defense. Let's go. Hey.
Is there any magic left in the Kingdome? We're going to find out momentarily.
But Seattle has but one timeout left. Again, they've had to use 2 timeouts this half because of defensive problems. All the things that you think you've coached for, thought about, prepared for, but you can't prepare for guys not being aware.
Time was running out on the Seahawks, and the Dolphins' pass rush started running over them.
Back to pass kit. Now he's under pressure. They got him again, and it's Trace Armstrong for the 3rd time in the game getting to the quarterback.
Trace Armstrong has been a man possessed. Pushing and driving. Just works his offensive tackle right back into Kitten and falls and makes the play.
2nd down and 18 from the 15. Kitna under pressure, gets away from the rush, going to get hit and pounded back at the 9-yard line. They just cannot stop that coverage and that pressure.
This is unbelievable. This Dolphin defensive effort in the second half, when the Seahawks most need it, when they most need to move the football, they're getting pushed back in the other direction. Their Dolphin players flying and kicking up from all angles.
Here comes the trifecta right here. Here's the third one.
They'll rush 4 now as Kitna's back, but they get to him again. It's Trace Armstrong who will take him down. 4th sack of the game for Trace.
Do you believe it? Sack, sack, sack.
Oh, that's pretty good defense.
Wow.
Kitna was actually credited with a 1-yard gain, but the Dolphins had forcefully made their point on 3 consecutive plays. Led by number 93, Trace Armstrong, the pass rush had swarmed past the Seahawks' front line and smothered John Kitna. It wasn't hard to see why Seattle netted just 32 yards in the second half.
The offensive line has just betrayed the quarterback. They're just getting pushed off the ball, and there's nowhere for Kitna to go unless you try to roll him out.
And not a single receiver able to get open. And I think what you saw here the last 3 plays was really indicative of the problem this team has had offensively in the last half of the season. They're just not consistent. John Kitna can't find people. He's not getting protections. Receivers don't get open. You're dead.
This time, baby. This time. Let's go, man.
They're hanging that tight end.
Right.
He's off.
So that way, by looping him back inside and with 2 guys pushing. So we go back. The first play would be ISO flip.
Jeff Fiegels, who had averaged 47.9 yards on 7 punts, booted his longest of the game. But Fiegels' 54-yard kick was returned 25 yards into Seattle territory by Nate Jacquet, number 88. Miami was in great position with just under 3 minutes to play. Jimmy Johnson played it close to the vest, however, and seemed content to chew up the clock. Johnson was justifiably confident that his defense could hold the lead.
The football's at the 12. This is Kitna, 3-man rush, back to throw, steps up, throws, caught by Dawkins for the first down out to the 27. Here they go again. Back to pass, Kitna. Blitz is coming at him. He throws to the near side for Galloway. It's intercepted. Oh, my goodness. Intercepted by Terrell Buckley on the sideline.
It is a catch. First down, Miami.
Game
is over. Jacksonville, here we come.
My goodness, now it's our turn. The Dolphins have done it, and Terrell Buckley seals it with an interception on the sideline. Dan Marino with an unbelievably great second-half performance takes the snap and kneels down. And that is going to be the football game. And the Dolphins have beaten the Seattle Seahawks. Final score, thanks to Dan Marino, 20-17.
Dan Marino started the afternoon with something to prove, that he was still Dan Marino. His passing numbers were modest, 17 out of 30 for 196 yards and no interceptions. But he made the clutch throws when his team needed it, just as he had done throughout his storied career. After a season in which so many things went wrong, Marino conjured up some of his old magic one more time. Marino had engineered the 37th fourth-quarter comeback of his career. Only John Elway has more. While his future was uncertain, there was no doubt about this day. Dan Marino was a winner once again. The combination of Dan Marino, mistake-free football, and a punishing pass rush had ruined the Kingdome's goodbye party. An inglorious losing streak of 10 postseason losses dating back to 1972 had been put to an end.
First road win for the Dolphins since when, Jim?
Since December 31st, 1972.
Book the travel to Jacksonville because the Dolphins are going there to take on the Jaguars in the next round of the NFL playoffs.
I told you we was going to do it, baby. On the road, baby. On the road. That's how you play. Offense, defense, special teams. If you come, Jacksonville, we come. Next week, we're going to play even harder, baby. We come to prepare the place.
You did exactly what you had to do. You know, you hung in there. We did not have a single turnover. Hey, we made the plays that we had to make to win the ball game. And now we go to Jacksonville. Now, I said last week, I said, just give me 1 week. What did I say? I said, give me 1 week. I said, I said I wouldn't ask for another one.
You know that old saying, be careful what you wish for? Well, the Dolphins wanted one more playoff game, but what they got in Jacksonville was a 62-7 drubbing, the worst loss in franchise history. The win over Seattle was truly Dan's last stand, as he retired following the loss to the Jaguars. Jimmy Johnson also called it quits after the embarrassing defeat. As for the Seahawks, their 1999 campaign may have finished with a whimper, not a bang. But a few months later, things ended in opposite fashion for the Kingdome.